So let it get load first and then we'll start. Difference between JWT and JAS. JWT is like what we discussed, a token based authentication. JAS is actually a authentication framework of Java. It's a complete framework. It's not a service. JWT can be used as a token based authentication service, but this JAS is actually a complete framework which stands for Java Authentication and Authorization Service. It is not used with Spring Boot. It is primarily used with Java application. Right now, what Java we are using? SE, Standard Edition. So if you are building any application using Enterprise Edition, at that time you can use JAS. It's a complete framework. Now here some click and do something like that. This JWT uses a token based authentication.
This meeting is being recorded.
So here these are not available. No problem. We will add them from Maven repository. So JWT in this. Okay, no problem. So here you can add the dependency of Spring Web and Spring Security. So here our project is coming Spring JWT, and if we check the pom.xml file here, so Spring Boot Maven plugin, security tests, security starter, web starter is coming. Do one thing, just try to add the Lombok also, because we will not write the entire code. So we have added the dependency of Lombok as well. Right, you can see the Lombok dependency is also coming now. Now till then we'll go to Maven repository. And in that we'll search for JWT. Generally it is available like, so when you are searching for JWT, there will be JWT from auth0. So who is the provider of JWT? Who is the provider? Auth0. Earlier it was auth 0, now it is coming at Java JWT. So you just click on this, and in this lot of version you will see here. So we'll use any version, but before using any version, you just check what it is written here. Java client library for the auth 0 platform. So this library, like JWT is for whom? Client side, not server side. If it is not server side, it doesn't. It means that it's not for database. Then who is protecting the database? Springs by default security is protecting that. For client side, because some client side request will be coming from outside, like React application or Angular application or normal application. For that, you need to generate a particular security. Now here, if you check, so we will go with the 4.4.0, which is the highly used, and it came in 2023. So still it is working. So this is the dependency. Yes, Java JWT. We'll copy it and let's paste it here. And now it has started the project. Now we'll do what we were doing from a long time. In the base package, I will using the base package address, I will create a new package controller. In that, I will create a class. Let's say I will create as home controller. I'll create it as home controller. I will convert it to a REST controller, right? In that, let's just create a method, public string hello method, which is just returning that this is Spring Boot project with JWT. Just a normal thing. Now, when this particular part will run, when someone is requesting for the resource and resource of what slash hello, right? As this project is also using the dependency of Spring Security, so we are expected to get some username and password. Like it will ask us to log in as first. We have to prove our identity before logging in into the system, and here you can see that it has generated a password, right? So let's go back and we will try to fetch it. That is localhost 8080/hello. Now it is asking for username and password. By default, username is user and password is what we have copied from Spring's console. And now hello page is coming, right? Here hello page is coming. How we can that JWT is working or not? For that, we'll do something. Let's again open the Maven repositories only, and in that we will try to search same thing again. That is JWT. See, sometimes whenever you are searching, there will be different kind of things. First one is Java JWT, then Nimbus JOS, then Spring Security JWT library. Then you will see Atlassian JWT API, like lot of things we are getting. Now, which one is we should use? For that, I have already told you the best thing that you can search. So you can just go Spring Boot JWT docs. Simple thing. So here you can go to Spring's website only. Don't trust any other website. So auth 0 auth, same thing we call as auth 0 or 0 auth. 2.0 resources server JWT, minimal dependencies for JWT, right? So most resource server support is collected into Spring Security auth to resource server. However, the support for decoding and verifying JWTs is in Spring Security auth to JOS, meaning that both are necessary in order to have a working resource. Now, what a dependency we have actually added is different, right? And it is telling us that we should have these two dependencies: Spring Security, Auth2, resource server, and one with JOS. It means that there is something as JOS, right? This one, Nimbus JOS. So, no problem. We'll again study something. I'm telling you that don't use any dependency blindly. Your project will not run. Whatever you are implementing, just for give 5 minutes of reading. 5 minutes of reading. That's it. Read it here. So running exception. So when the application is started, resource server will attempt to process any request containing an authorization bearer header, get a well informed JWT resource server. It will do something like this. Here you just see this diagram. This one. This one. What is visible now? This one. Just see this for a minute. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is written there. No? Just see the flow. Flow is going from bearer token authentication, then it is going to authentication manager, then JWT authentication provider, then decoder, then converter. So let me tell you what is happening here. A person tried to log in. So let me give that architecture to you. Let's say this is your Java application, and by Java application I simply means by application of Spring Boot. A user will come for first time, because generally there is a first time for every user, and he will come, or he or she whatever will come, and they will create their account here. That process is called registration. That process is called registration. Now you know when this user is getting registered. So I'll tell you one thing. When we were working on Talk to Me project, we were getting the API from ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told us that save this API key. It will not be visible to you again. Why ChatGPT is doing that? That for you also they are not showing that API. Remember that ChatGPT told us that you can't see this API key again. You have to regenerate a new API key. So, like, why ChatGPT is doing that? What is their like? What we can say? What is their intention behind it? That I have my email ID. I logged in into that system. Then also I am not able to use my API key or see my API key again. There might be some logic, right? That on your account also you are not, they are not showing it to you. Let's say it's like you went to your bank account and they are saying, oh, we will not show you how much balance you have. Alright, that is my email ID, that is my chat GPT account, just show me the my API key. No, API key is very sensitive information. So ChatGPT believes that when you opened your browser, there might be someone has injected something. They will steal your data. They will steal your data. They have injected something. You don't know. Let's say here I will open my Edge browser and I started searching something. I don't know that if someone has injected something in my incognito mode or private mode or safe mode, right? Or let's say you opened a normal mode here. So it is possible. You cannot neglect that. How it is possible that someone can inject it in my system? It is possible. It is possible. I can show you live. So for that, uh, let me just check it once if it is like possible. So here, what it is telling, one of my password has compromised. This is my email ID, and in this it is telling that one of my password has compromised, and I know it is being compromised from last 1 year, and I am not changing it. This is the password that I know that for which website, for which application, this is my password, and I'm not changing it. There is a reason behind it. What is the reason? The reason is sometimes you have to what do you call it? To catch a lion, you have to drop some goats and sheeps. So that password is already a weak password. I'm not using it. It's for any random website. That is my very weak password, very loose password. Like, okay, come and take this password. So whenever a hacker is trying to hack you, they will hack your easily accessible part. That password is accessible. After that, my system will give me an alarm and I'll close everything. If I am not responding, my system will automatically lock all the system. So in that process, if person is taking that password, I will get alarm and close everything. So one weak password I am myself sending. That okay, I'll take it. But ChatGPT, that's why it didn't show you that key. That doesn't know if someone is just having an eye and they'll see it, they can use it for any purpose. So how JWT works, when you came for registration here in the application, you are logged in. Once you are logged in, this application will assign you a JWT token. This application will give you a JWT token. To the user only, it will return that token. Unique token, by the way. So when you registered in this application, let's say you went to any application which is using JWT. So after going there, after going there, you registered yourself and the application is giving you back a JWT token. What application is giving you? JWT token. Now what I will do with this token? So whatever request you are doing, whatever, see, wait, in the recent project that we have completed, like book my ride, we were doing login sign up from Google Firebase, right? So we were using the Firebase for that. In that login sign up, what you were asking from the user, how many details you were asking? Two details, like one email, one password. Okay, no problem. So I have opened the book my project here and I'll go to authentication. In authentication, users are coming here. So who is generating this user UID? Are you generating it? No. Who is generating that? This Firebase is only generating that UID. But why? This UID is like that JWT. This UID means unique identity number. Unique identity number. Same is like JWT. That will be unique for any user. Will user have that information? No. Let's say I open Instagram here and I don't have any account on Instagram. I just go to sign up and I created account with all of my files. But when this data is going to database, so this data will be saved in this format. This data will be saved in this format. Got it? But what is the logic of this? Whenever this rat at the rate of gmail.com is trying to log in with a password, actually UID will be matched. UID will be matched. One more prime example of this. UID is like OTP. No, UID is not like OTP. OTP is temporary. UID is permanent. Everybody knows about it. Google Pay, Phone Pay, or any payment application you are using. So let's say tomorrow you purchased a new phone and you have to transfer your SIM card, your data, and obviously you will transfer the all the things to new phone. So whenever you are transferring the data to new phone, there are some application, they will ask you at least 2-3 times, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And even after transferring it, you know what will happen? You don't, if you know is better, if you don't know that does, I will tell. Generally, how much payment you can, how much money you can send in one day using Google Pay? First of all, it depends on bank. It differ from bank to bank. Using UPI, you can send a maximum of 1 lakh rupees in one day by any UPI. No, let's say you opened anyone's name and just hit 1 lakh rupees and sent in 24 hours. In 24 hours, you can send only 1 lakh. That's a limit. Next for 24 hour, 1 lakh. That is fine. But whenever you changed your new phone and you are like using it in the new phone, no, you know what's the limit now? 5K for next 24 hours. You have your SIM card, you have your ATM card, you have logged in with the same thing in Google Pay, you have authenticated yourself, then also you can't make a payment more than 5,000. Use any app, doesn't matter. 5,000 is the limit. For some app, it's a 2,000 also. But why? Because the Google Pay is assuming that someone has stolen your phone and ATM card both. He got access to your SIM card and ATM card both, and he is opening Google Pay in the next phone, in his public phone, like that thief's phone. So for 24 hours, don't allow this thing. In that 24 hours, user will get a notification. He will block his ATM card and Google Pay. This happens. This happens. So whenever you are changing your phone, please make sure that you can make only 5,000 using Google Pay. So if you have some urgent payment need, so do it, then change the Google Pay. Let it be otherwise. So that's how actually JWT works in this particular scenario, that a token is there. If that token is changing, how token changes? Token changes in a way. There is the app of Indian Railway. Like two apps are there. One is UTS. This is something like unreserved ticket system. UTS. Uh, like I have not used this application, but I was debugging this application. So UTS application is like a Android application or iOS application basically, where you can book the ticket for unreserved coaches, general coaches you call that. You can book tickets for that. And let's say today I'm using this UTS app with my mobile number, someone phone company as ABC, and my model number is 2024. This is my phone detail. Tomorrow I change my phone and I am using a new phone that is XYZ company and model number is 2025. I went to the app, I opened my Play Store, downloaded the app, tried to log in with my mobile number. It will give a lot of warnings. Are you really want to do? Prove your identity, to prove your security question, lot of things it will ask you to change. I am having my mobile number, OTP is coming then also, because whenever every device has two things. One is IP address, and another is MAC address. All of you know about IP address, but what is MAC address? जोर से बोलो, जोर से. See, your IP address depends on the internet that you are using, right? So let's say I am on a Ethernet network, like LAN is connected here. So let's say I will just hit a normal URL here, that 192.168.0.1, right? And let's check if it is opening something. Generally it works on Wi-Fi. So, but I will show you here as well if it is opening. So whenever you are on Wi-Fi, it will work. I'll show you once connected to Wi-Fi, or you can check it in a mobile. So these are internet address that you are on this address. So whenever you have a router, like this is a link where you can use some technique to have a Wi-Fi password. I should do that actually. So not for hacking purpose, just for learn. I used to hack the Wi-Fi's. So like this we can do. So here it's a IP address. But if you search on Google, let's say I'll open my Chrome browser and to Google I will just write one thing. What is my IP? What is my IP? Just write this thing and it will say you value of your IP address. This is your IP address this time. But this is my public IP address, which is visible to all. My private IP address is not visible to us. So how we can change it? Is it possible we can change it? Yes. If you have a little bit knowledge of this architecture, if you have a little bit knowledge of this architecture, you can do it. So there was a real incident in my native where a 13 years old girl got kidnapped, right? And she got kidnapped and police was she was having a tablet, right? She was carrying a tab with her, like generally parent police was tracking her using her tab. Within 5 minutes she was traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, Mumbai to Bangalore, Bangalore to Ghaziabad. She was from Ghaziabad. Ghaziabad is like my native district, not native, neighboring district of me. Police got shocked that even planes can't fly that much with that much speed. Within 5 minutes, that girl's location is changing, and that girl did one mistake actually. She kidnapped herself. She went into the storeroom of her house and sat there, and she was changing her IP address. 13-year-old girl. You can read this over internet. I think 13 or 11-year-old girl. She was changing her IP address because her mom or father didn't give her some sweet or like something they didn't give her, and she was playing this prank. She did one mistake. One time she forgot to change the IP address, and the real location came. So police came to that location and they found that she's in the storeroom, like in the ground floor. So that's the power of these tokens, right? That's the power of these tokens. You know, okay, again, I'm taking you to an entire different thing, but this is a necessary knowledge. You should have that. Those who do some illegal activity, like I'm not pointing what illegal activity, any kind of, let's say someone is doing some drugs, alcohol, something like that. They will never use mobiles for calls. Never, never. They will never have internet also. They will have a keypad phone, right? They will have a keypad phone on. In that also, they will try to drop the voice message instead of normal call. Why? How they know this much? Right? Because they know if we went to internet, we will have a address. The address can be UID, address can be JWT, it can be IP address, it can be MAC address, which is machine address actually. I'm using a laptop, it will have a machine address, unique. Watch, it will have a machine address. Mobile, it will have a MAC address. Permanent, it is fixed that it will have a MAC address. That is called machine address. Machine can be laptop, mobile, or anything, right? A machine can be a mobile, laptop, or anything. So it is like the entire world is revolving here. So now let's come back to our application.
This
Now go
meeting
back
is being
again
recorded.
and we will open the Maven repository again. So here at first you search for JWT API. Now you will see this JJWT API. JJWT API. So it will be visible there. First you need this one. JJWT API. So I'll open the recent version only. So it is from io.json web token. Right. So let's keep it here. JJWT API. Right. You will get this. Then you will get. You have to actually JJWT IMPL. In that you will get as the JJWT IMPL. It's for implementation. It's for implementation. So you can use the same version that is 0.112. Like Spring will automatically detect the feasible version here. So you can keep that dependency. Right. Do we use this auth0? We'll see that in the time. Now we have added the two dependencies. One for JJWT API, one for but I will show you where you can actually check the meaning.
This
JWT
meeting
Jackson.
is being
It's a
recorded.
kind of extension actually. So add these three dependencies. Now you are set to go. Right. Now you are all set to go. How many dependency? JJWT API, JWT implementation, JWT Jackson. At last, if you are using auth0, then you can add this particular dependency, but only when you are using auth0. So we will discuss about auth0 as well. So that's why let's see this. Now, what will be the effect of this? So what I will do is let's close this server and we will restart our application. So here password is generated. We'll hit the same URL again, that is 8080/hello. And it is asking us to put our username and password that we just now have copied, and it's working fine. Now we will apply the JWT concept here. Okay. For that, what we will do is at first, and let's close the server and we will create a class, or best we will call create a package. So I will create a new package, let's say config. We'll create a config package, and there is a config package. We will add that later. There is a REST controller here, that is home controller, by the way. In that I will use the logger. Logger, you understand what is logger? What is logger? It will be in advanced Java, right? Logger, like it will give you the logs. Let's say how to debug Java. How you will debug Java app? It will be in core Java or advanced Java. How to debug Java? Let's say I gave you a Java code. How you will debug it? Debugging the Java code. लॉगर तो दिखा दिया तो बोल दोगे. प्रिंट कैसे यूज करोगे भाई, जावा स्क्रिप्ट थोड़ा ही है। Okay, no problem. Like if you don't, it is just to print the user's interaction. Whatever log you are doing, let's say is application went, application coming back, like that, it can do. So if you don't know, no problem. I am removing that. Okay, no problem. I'm removing the logger. It is just for debugging. Debugging will be very easy, and you will get the complete logs of the application as well. Now, what we will do is in the config package, we will create a security config class. We will create a security config class. Now we will use the logic that we told you how to customize the Spring security. Start. I am asking you only how to customize Spring security. Security failure? Security filter chain. Yeah, we will use security filter chain, that I also know. After that, say what have we have to do? Huh? Disable CSRF went. No, I just told you that how to disable. It's not CSRF is not in syllabus, right? I just taught you how to disable that, how to use that. First, it should have a which annotation? You guys forget everything. Configuration. Second, enable web security. It should have two annotation. Earlier, it was only one annotation, that is configuration. Now it is enable web security as well. Now in this, I will create a method. Method I will create is to store the user. Like I will not write the I will not use the default username and password. I will create multiple users here. How I will create? That also I told you how to create multiple users. We have to create a method for that method of type user details service. Guys, have a revision of these things, otherwise it's gonna be very difficult. Now it should be a bean, right? It should be a bean. Why we are creating it a bean? Why we are converting it to a bean? Creating the object of this. Who will create that? Printer? Spring Boot. अरे चलो ठीक है. Container is not there, man. Here is our main file. Do we have any container? No container. Automatically management is going on. How to create a user now? For that we have to use the user details class. Not service actually. We have to use user details. User details, you can say user details. Now, how to like I want to use user details. So we have to create the object of this. How user details will actually work? First, we have to create its object. So that is gonna be user dot builder. Are remember or forgot? Then tell me why it is throwing error. What I have to write? If you remember, then why it is throwing error? Let's check this only. It is telling that change type to user details to user builder. See, if you have forgotten it, you will not understand a single line in JWT. Yes, those who are joining online, like how you can forget that much? easily 2 days. Like, uh, the day before yesterday, sorry, the day not easily 2 days. Like the day before is yesterday only we discussed it. How we discussed it, right? Right. The day before yesterday, we discussed it. How you can forget this much easily? Because this builder is uh, okay. And because this uh, okay, and even from online, those who are joining online, or how you can forget. Uh, this okay, and even from GD, and those who are joining this online, or messages, because when we are hitting this hello URL, and this is what we are doing, that don't build. Why actually we have some should have some building use as well. And why we are not helped? Why function? API. It will
This
take me to the
meeting is
login
being
page. I will
recorded.
write my login details, whatever login details I have kept there. And just here only, see the page source. When you will see the page source, so there is a label for username, type text, like these things will be there. CSRF is coming with this value. This is the CSRF token. And let's try to hit the login. So we came to the login page, that this is like not login page, hello page. And we came here. There is a logout page as well. So what I will do is I will hit slash logout. Now this is the logout page that we will get by default. Check the page source. Here also we got a CSRF token. So now token is there and it is publicly visible, but for you only, not for everyone. It's a security token, because every single time token will change. Even if user took this token, no, nothing, because this token consists your MAC address as well. It consists your MAC address as well. That from that machine only I will accept the request. Otherwise, I don't accept. It's not possible that hacker and the user will have same machine. Hacker will have some different machine, right? So that's how we work with JWT. In that only, I will do one more thing. Let's say I'll create one more method here. This time we will create a method for authentication manager. Authentication manager. Authentication manager. Method name is authentication manager. Now this person will be able to manage the authentication process. So let's make it a bean. Directly it will return something, but before returning something, let's give it a argument of authentication configuration, which is already available there. Authentication configuration, and you can write any name. So authentication configuration. Now this function should return something, and its return should be like of authentication manager only. So here this function will try to return something in a way that authentication manager is working. What authentication manager? Which will manage the authentication between user to Spring Boot, and Spring Boot means app, and from Spring Boot to user. They are your authentication manager. So that this hacker, if he, let's say worst case, hacker stole everything. Hacker stole everything. So when I performed the MITM attack on your WhatsApp, what the thing you noticed? Whatever picture you sent, those are changed to another picture. Two picture you sent, I changed all the two pictures. In that way, those pictures change for you also? No. Check your phone. In your phone, previous pictures will be coming. Sender will always have the real value, but receiver will get a different value. So worst case is user stole everything. Then also there will be a synchronization. The sender will again synchronize the message to the previous message. Right? Let's say I change the message. Change it, no problem. The real message will only arrive. That let's meet cafe at 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. like that. So who will do that? Who will do that? So we'll say builder dot. In that we will run get default. No, get authentication. Mm, Builder Spring Framework. This one. Dot get it. authentication. Okay, leave it like because this method is not defined. We will hold this part for a minute because there is only one user. So only unique values will be there. So we will not be having anything now. Now, this is the working of JWT. Now, are you seeing any JWT working here? Did you saw any JWT working here? Yes, we have seen JWT working here. Because yesterday also using the user detail service, we were able to add user and yesterday we didn't require to create any password encoder, but today we are required to create a password encoder. Why? Because there is someone going on there. Who is going on there? There is a dependency. Which dependency? Now three dependencies are there. Which one is working? API, implementation, or Jackson? Which one is working? API is working, not implementation. So now API is working. See in what order I have implemented them. API, then implementation, then Jackson. So I will write the code in the same order. Sometimes use the common sense. So this API is working here. Now we will try to write the implementation of JWT. So what I will do, I will create a new package using the base package, that is JWT IMPL. JWT IMPL. In that only I will create a new class and class new class, and I will name the class as JWT implementation. JWT implementation. So this is our JWT implementation class. Now, or not implementation, you can create it authentication entry. So first we will do the authentication entry point. So in this JWT implementation, let's change the package name also. Refactor, rename. First, let's do the JWT only. In JWT, I will create a class that is gonna be JWT JWT authentication entry. So this is something going to be the entry point where JWT will work. And now this particular part actually implements. A class can implement something or not? A class can implement or not? So it has to implement something. Now only interface can be implemented. Interface only can be implemented for a longer way, but we can implement class also. There is an exception, right? It's like chemistry, everything is exception here. So let's do it tomorrow. Yeah, my throat is paining, don't know why. Implementation of this authentication entry I'll show you tomorrow, where we will be seeing like how JWT token is created. But if you want to apply JSON web token for your login purpose and all, it is already done by using the dependencies. Like this implementation I'll show tomorrow. My throat is paining too much, don't know why. Right? So we can remove or we can delete the class as well from this. And tomorrow only we'll start our microservices, and there's a reason. I'll tell you what is the reason. So tomorrow we'll in the first half we'll talk about JWT and we'll complete it. After that we will discuss about we'll start our microservices. Right? In that we'll start microservices and don't like 3 or 4 classes or like max to max 5 classes. So how much we have now? 14th, 15th, and 16th is holiday, and then we got 17, 18, 19. So 6 days we are having. So like 5 days we are having, so we'll complete the microservices as well. And in that meantime, if it is required, so I'll take the class half an hour earlier so that we can discuss some leftover things. In leftover, one is Swagger, one is Docker. So we'll do these two things, Swagger, Docker, and Zero Auth. Like this is a tool I can teach you now also, but we'll see it tomorrow. Okay. These things we'll do. Generally, let me tell you one thing. Sunday arrange a class. Guys, Sunday is not possible. Like not because of like I used to sleep on Sunday. There is a lot of work for me on Sundays because from my social life I am completely detached from Monday to Saturday. I don't do any social thing, no nothing. But Sunday is like lot of work is there. From tomorrow is holy. Like tomorrow is holy, but we don't have any holiday tomorrow, so we have to attend the class, right? There is no holiday. Class will be there, and if it is required, we'll extend the time. We'll see depending on condition. Okay. Kubernetes also we'll discuss in Docker only. Okay, it's in Docker. We'll discuss about Kubernetes, right? So tomorrow is not holiday, by the way. We have to and finally, and I'm happy that tomorrow is not holiday. Otherwise, one day will also cut, right? We have to complete microservices. Okay, fine, guys. Let's connect again tomorrow. Have a nice time, everyone. Bye bye.